Hello everybody and welcome to a post-commentary of Crash Bandicoot. Let me get the mic set up. Yeah, so this is post-commentary because the audio actually fucked up really bad and didn't record. I don't know what went wrong. I tried to get the audio back. I had a look at the footage, but the audio just wasn't there. I don't know what went wrong. So I'm like, oh, well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's a bit of a pisser, especially because of one of the levels that we cover in this video. You didn't miss too much, really, because I started with this one, the Castle Machinery, and this one was fairly simple. As you can see, we're at about 5 minutes right now. I think I left in a few deaths. As you see, I hit that guy because I was just seeing where to damage boost, basically, because you do have to take a few hits in this level. You do have to, like, use the masks to take a few hits and work out where you're going. So I do die a few times at the start here. As I say, the 5 minutes I cut out was just literally me setting up the stream and saying, you know, hello everybody, welcome to the stream, how you all doing today? We're checking out the levels, what level are we going to do, and you know, all like this. And as you can see on the left there, Midnight, or Android 21 Midnight as he wants to be called now, said hello YouTube, and tell YouTube I said hi. Well, there you go. Future Spyro did it. Post-commentary Spyro did it, because present Spyro, or past Spyro at this point, past Spyro said it, but never came out, never happened. So yeah, the past 5 minutes were just me saying, okay, hi everybody say hi to YouTube. So let's look at the levels, what levels we're going to do, and I decided let's start off with one that seems relatively easy, one that seems relatively doable, which is Castle Machinery. So this is, I think, my first successful run where I'm just looking at the level to start off with. I'm seeing where enemies move up and down, and I'm like, okay, there's some steam here. So this is just kind of the first successful run. We start off pretty chill, and as I go through this level and I reach the end, I realise just how easy this level is, and it takes about 20 minutes every time to shave a couple of seconds off, because every time I'm shaving seconds off. But there was not really any stress in this level. And I looked at that mask, and I think that's one of the areas where, even with the Platinum, I could have shaved off a couple of extra seconds, because you don't need that second mask. But again, it was nothing too stressful. I got to this part, I'm like, okay, maybe if I damage boost through this steam, but it seems to time out just right, and even on Platinum, that'll probably time out at the right place. I probably could jump onto that far one if I don't re-land, and then like this one here, I could just jump to there, and then rather than trying to get in the little crack before they all lock you out, like slide through the crack. So I already had my game plan kind of set up from the beginning, and then with this one I didn't know where to go, so I thought, alright, I've got to go up this one, and then, oh, there's a box there. I should have gone for that box, so I'll fall back down and just see about the box. I shouldn't have really fallen back down, because, you know, I could have just gone to the end and it would have already saved time. So I don't know why I did that, and I'm like, you know what, screw it, and then I kind of just messed it all up, and I'm like, oh, okay, I've screwed this, but at least we know which way to go. But even with a screw up, we ended with a Sapphire, and I'm like, hey, you know what, Sapphire, considering all the screw ups up at the end there and having to wait, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty decent for a starting Relic. Like, just walking into a level, not even knowing what you're doing, and coming out with a Sapphire, that's pretty decent. So we're going to skip ahead here, and as you can see, it goes from 9 minutes to 18 minutes. So it's literally only 10 minutes later, not even that, more like 9.5, but it's about to hit 19. So only 10 minutes later, I'd practiced a little bit more, and I'm like, okay, I kind of see some certain areas where I'd have to damage boost, to see some certain areas where I'd have to be a little bit faster, and I think we can get a gold. You know, sometimes I died, like the past 10 minutes were a couple of deaths, but it was me trying to be, I think, a little bit too cocky. As you see there, I bounced off that box, and I managed to, like, shave a couple of seconds off that Sapphire time, and here I don't even use that anymore. I just kind of, like, drop down instantly. So these are all gold strategies, and as I was going through the gold strategies, I'm like, you know, if I'd have jumped onto that other one, I probably could have shaved some time off for the Platinum. And at this point, I still thought Platinum was in my grasp. You see, I'm ahead of the Steam, so I'm thinking, oh, Platinum's still in my grasp, so I've probably still got a chance, but I wasn't too confident that I would do it. But I'm like, hey, you know, we've only been doing this for 10 minutes. Like, we got the Sapphire pretty much instantly when we walked in. We've only been doing this for 10 minutes, and I feel like I am now on a gold run here. This seems like a decent gold run. I shouldn't have really taken that. Again, I could have just dropped straight down to save the time it takes for the platinum to go down, or the platform to go down, and that would probably net me the platinum. So all the while I'm already thinking about how I can shave off platinum time, but at the very least this should be a gold time. So I'm like, alright, yeah, fair enough, I can see this a gold time. And this is where I was like, okay, right, hit this. And you see how I slid through like I previously mentioned? That was a nice slide through right there. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I've definitely got this now. Like, we're just going to bounce up here. We're probably going to collect our gold. And I thought that was one higher than it should have been, so that wasted some time as well. But I'm like, okay, yeah, you know what? We're going to crack that 3 box, and we've definitely got the gold here. Even with my fuck up, which... now you can't do that for platinum, but even with my fuck up twice, I'm like, you know what? We've definitely still got the gold, because the gold's 2 minutes. Get in there, bam, gold relic. So we're at 20 minutes, and again, the clock, which you're about to see transition, doesn't even advance all that much. There were a lot more deaths than normal, but I wasn't that stressed out, so let's flick over. And as you can see, 21 to 37. Again, it's only about 15 minutes later of me being like, okay, I've got the pattern now, I know what to do. So Castle Machinery, overall, it was quite a enjoyable Platinum Relic. It wasn't too stressful, it wasn't too bad, so the whole title of Platinum Relic Rage didn't really apply to this one. I mean, it did in one of the levels that we take, but as you can see, that was a nice jump there, and then you just spin that guy as you go in. You just got to kind of constantly keep spinning guys, and then this guy you just got to run over and jump under, because you got to basically constantly keep spinning the enemies. Even if you think you're going to die from spinning them, you still just got to spin them and move forwards. And then I waited for this steam. I probably could have outrun it, but I thought, like, we're in good standing right now, and this will time out all the steam for the later sections, because obviously there is steam just beyond these boiling hot pipes, and there you see the steam has already fired, so it was already like completely fine for us getting all of the other steam timed out. So I was okay with waiting for that 1 second for the steam to time out, and as I say in the Sapphire, that's where I could have skipped some time getting that mask because I didn't need it. But I did stick to what I said in the Sapphire, and I did avoid riding that platform down. I just like took the leap, and the leap did work out for me. And then we are pretty much done with this level. So overall, it wasn't too much of the Relic Rage on this one. I'm completely fine with this one. The next one also fairly easy, which we're going to see momentarily. And then it just became complete and total garbage. Like, I just hated everything. In fact, this audio that you're listening to right now is actually like a week later than this recording. Like, it just took me a whole week to get back round to it, because after the level... Sorry, that was where I missed the platinum by a single second. The time for the platinum is 1:36 and I got 1:37, so I was annoyed, but I did it again, and this is now the successful run. But yeah, so there wasn't that many problems. I just kind of did it, and as I say, there wasn't much Relic Rage in this one, except for the last level, which I just had to wait a week. Like, I couldn't even touch this footage for an entire week, because even the next morning I had several things that pissed me off. Like, the level itself that we do last pissed me off, like, to no end. The fact that there was some very decent reactions, and they got a laugh out of quite a few of the people that were in voice chat as well as on the actual text chat. You know, there was some decent reactions I wish I could have kept. There was some not so decent ones where I just hated life, and I was bitching about other things and being like, oh, this is kind of like bullshit, and this is why I hate this game. And it's like a game that I really didn't hate all that much. It was for one that I was reviewing, which is now reviewed, which was Star Allies. I mean, Star Allies got an average score of 3 out of 5 if you haven't seen that review, or I'm going to hope you have at least. But a lot of that averageness come from all the things I bring up in it. And, you know, at the time when I was doing that level, I was seeing other things about, like, certain aspects of Star Allies, like, because I was already in a negative mood. I was being really negative with Star Allies, and I'm just like, I fucking hate it, it's so shit, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that, and I'm probably going to give it a 2 out of 5, probably even a 1 out of 5, because it's just like, oh, it's so fucking bad. And it wasn't really, it wasn't that bad. As I say, like, I bring up certain things in the review that a lot of other people bring up, like it's too easy and it's not the big revelation for the Switch that people were expecting, but that was all due to the last level. So even this footage and this audio, which as I say is being recorded a week later, I couldn't even touch it. Like, I just had to wake up the next morning. I was still annoyed. Like, I'm still annoyed at the fact that I had to do that level. I'm still annoyed that my audio was just lost to the wind and I'll have to re-record my audio. And I just had to just take a day or two to relax and de-stress, and then obviously I give Kirby its fair shake, and it came out as a semi-decent game aside from a couple of issues. And it was overall good, but then after I reviewed Kirby, I'm like, okay, right, let's go back to Crash. I was feeling a lot more, what's the name, to do it. I was feeling a lot more, okay, I'm relaxed, let's do this. And then I got the footage, and I kind of spent the day, you know, chopping out all of the bullshit bits. That's why you're watching the highlights. So I kind of spent the day chopping it up, and I'm like, you know what, okay, I think I'm ready to record. But it's a bit too late at night now, so I came back the next day, which is today, and now I'm recording it, and I'm a lot better. I'm a lot fine. I mean, I also did Celeste, which kind of put me in a bad mood, so that was a thing. Like, you'll probably see the Celeste review tomorrow, but Celeste put me in a bad mood as well, so that's why I also had to calm down for Crash. And I think I want to do something calming before doing the editing, because there's a lot of editing that's going to go into Celeste, and there's a lot of things that I am going to have, like a lot of resources I'm going to have to find, because one of the items is the Crystal Hearts, and if you watch the Kirby review, Void Terminus's heart is also made of crystal, and it's again a crystal heart. And like, because Kirby throws hearts at the enemies and basically brainwashes them into being his side, I kind of like made the joke of it being Princess Cadence with her love magic. Like, I'll just put this image on screen, yeah, where she does that. And in that, it's like, what if I just like add the little joke of myself, because Flick kind of made a joke. If you don't know, he's one of my closer friends, King Flick, but once upon a time he had a dream of Princess Cadence, and this is where it kind of all originates from. So here's a bit of backstory, a bit of lore to wondering where it come from. But the whole idea of why I have this picture of basically myself dressed as Princess Cadence, hence it's still got my blue eyes and my one hypnotic eye like the swirl, is because it is me, Spyro, in a Cadence suit. And the whole joke behind it is because once upon a time Flick was dreaming of Cadence, like, not directly, it was kind of like he was off doing his own thing, he was off having his own dream, and then for whatever reason, in one room I think he opened up, Cadence was there, and it had my voice, and then the door locked behind him, and I mean, he didn't really say what happened next, but I think we can all know what happened next. But he didn't like the fact that Spyro was Cadence, and it kind of creeped him out. So clearly he had sex with the pink pony. Probably, maybe, probably not. But yeah, as you can see on Toxic Waste, like, first run through, we got a gold relic there, so that was great. And Toxic Waste was fairly easy. I die a few times because I hesitate, but again, I left all of Toxic Waste in because Toxic Waste was really easy, like just so easy. And I'm like, yeah, okay, we can do this. So that's why I can shoot off this Cadence story, because Toxic Waste, there's nothing much to talk about. It was just a very nice run through. I pretty much timed everything out. I got a gold on pretty much the first run. I see what to do for platinum, and I do die a few times from hesitation, but I get the platinum. So, yeah, going back to Cadence to rattle out quick. So he had a dream of Cadence with my voice, and that's where that picture come from, because it's like, he had to draw Cadence for a commission that someone asked for, and while he was drawing it, because he was having to draw it, and I think that's what kind of influenced the dream, because, you know, like how sometimes you'll dream about your work? I think it's because he was having to draw this picture that involved Cadence, that Cadence appeared there. So he just dreamt about her, but I guess because the last person he was talking to before he went to sleep was me, he was dreaming about his work and the last person he talked to, and his mind melded them together. So while he was drawing that, I just kind of said, hey, you know what? It seems you're already drawing it, just change the eyes so that it's Spyro More Cadenza. And like, he was like, are you fucking joking me? It's like, nah, go on, do it, do it, do it, do it. And that was me hesitating there, as you saw. I saw the barrel coming towards me. If I'd have just kept running forward, the barrel would have bounced over my head. I shouldn't have hesitated, I did, and that's what cost me the platinum. I probably would have got the platinum if I hasn't have hesitated and tried to dodge out the way, rather than just being confident and running towards the bouncing barrel knowing it would have bounced over my head. But yeah, so I kind of like egged him on to do it, and he's like, fine, I'll just change the eyes, because it's the same image. Like, this image of Cadence he used is the same image, the only difference was the eyes. And I just kind of like had it as a bit of a joke. Like, I set it as a Discord icon every once in a while to tease him, and I had it as a bit of a joke, but I never really used it. But then Kirby came along, and it's like, hey, Cadence is love magic, Cadence crystal heart, and Void Termina's heart is made of crystal, and it's like, you know what, that kind of gives me an incentive to use this one random picture. Like, I can just say that, oh look, because it's Cadence, I can dress as Cadence, and we can do the rest of the review as the one that can basically brainwash anybody to be friends with anybody else with her love magic. So I was alright, because I finally got to use an old image. And for Celeste, which is the one you're going to see next and why I need a lot of resources, you have to go out of your way to get these crystal hearts. And I'm like, okay, right, well, if I have to get the crystal hearts, and again, there's other things to do with crystal, I might as well use Spyro More Cadenza again. I might as well dress up as the Pink Princess again. Just be like, oh, well, she's got one crystal heart, but me, I've got them all. I've got every single crystal heart, and, you know, there you go. I've jumped in, and boom, platinum, baby. I am the best at Toxic Waste. It was just a nice run through, which will slowly move into hatred. So, yeah, going to finish off Celeste here. So, I've got to get my Spyro More Cadenza picture again, but because like the crystal hearts have a huge influence on the game, and other aspects, like I've got to get a lot more resources. Like, I want a few more images of Cadence. Obviously it won't have the swirly eyes, but it's stressful. So what I was thinking is, as the review goes on, I mean, you'll tell by my voice because I recorded it pretty much after I got the last item, and you can slowly see me having a mental breakdown and just slowly like losing it and starting to cry, because like it's bullshit. It gets so fucking bullshit at the end, and to reflect that tone of my voice, just to absolutely reflect how fucking bullshit it was getting and how stressed I was getting. Like, I was going to start with this one being like, oh, I'm the Crystal Princess, I can get all the crystal hearts. And then you have like the B-sides, which the B-sides are kind of bullshit, but they're not too bad. So I'd transition into, say, a picture like this where she's looking pissed off. She's got a few split ends, but it's nothing bad, because I'm pissed off. Like, the tone of my voice is pissed off, but it's still like okay. And then we transition to the seasides, and the seasides are absolute bullshit, which you'll hear in the review. And it'll go from like these little split ends to like this picture where her hair is just a complete and total mess, and she just looks like she's so sad, and she just looks like she's having a mental breakdown, because that's kind of how I felt. So it kind of be like, as well as my voice slowly devolving from, oh look I'm happy, to like, oh god I'm so stressed, it'd also be the picture. So it'd be like, hey look I'm happy, I'm doing the regular levels, oh isn't Celeste fun, to, oh these B-sides are a little bit shit, I don't like them that much, I think you're being a bit bullshit there developers, to, oh my god this is the fucking worst thing ever, I fucking hate this, why the fuck were the seasides made? And, you know, I've just put the pictures on screen to reflect that. There are a few other pictures I'm looking at getting. As I say, there is something to do with the crystal hearts. They do have a power. They do unlock certain things. So you do need to get them all. You do need to get them all to fucking get to the end. But that's why I'm coming and doing Crash first, because I'm not stressed out and it's something relaxing to do. And I've got a lot more resources to get for Celeste, but the Celeste review will be next. Anyway, I looked at Castle Machinery there just to see if I could scum the clock, like if they put the clock at the top so you just ride the green gem platform over, but you don't, and there was no way to scum it, so I'm like, that's fine, we'll come back to it later. And seems I'd done so good on Castle Machinery and Toxic Waste, I thought let's do the bridge. Now watch the timer, 1 minute 14, right? 2 minutes or 2.5 hours. So it took way over an hour to do the Road to Nowhere, and it's the worst level. It is like the worst level in the fucking game for a platinum. Now you're about to see me do some crazy jumps here. You see how I'm constantly mounting the ropes? Because the only way to get the platinum relic, because I did complete it once and I got the gold relic, but that was with actually trying to do the level legitimately, you know, jumping over all the gaps in the bridge, and it was told to me, and I found out myself the hard way, that the only way to get the platinum relic is to run on the ropes, just like every single rope. You can't miss a single rope, and remember, you've got to go fast so you don't even have to think about mounting. Like with when I did it with Road to Nowhere Crash, and I'm like, oh, big shoes and joking around, it's because I had time to mount each rope. I had time to like analyze where I was going to land and such. And you don't get that privilege here. You just got to keep going. You just got to hope you land. And even jumping these dragon heads and landing on the other side, I slipped off so many times, and by the end of it I was just so pissed off. And as you can see, I got 54 seconds, and the platinum relic is only, I think, 56 or 57. So I only made it by jumping on the ropes by 3 seconds. And it's like, that's just bullshit. That is just so bullshit. And as I say, this took way over an hour of just futilely trying to land every single rope, because if you don't land every single rope, you're not getting it. But because you don't have time to think about where you're landing, then you're just going to fall off. And it was so bullshit, and I was getting so wound up and so stressed out and so pissed off. And this is where I started my whole Kirby rant and how I fucking hated everything, and it was bad. And everybody heard like the fun reaction when I beat it. Like when I beat it, I just kind of became a sweary dragon, like quite a very sweary dragon, calling the game many obscene names and saying fuck you quite a lot. And I wasn't happy at all. But hey, I am apparently I was the king of the Road to Nowhere. I'm the king of the ropes, or seems we're playing as Coco. I'm the queen of the ropes, and I beat both Midnight and Dark Neon Sonic on their time, so well done me. I mean, even the fact that I beat them, I'm just kind of like, you know, I'm not happy with that. I'm still kind of annoyed and pissed off. And at this point, someone else come in. I think it was Moon Knight, because he was in college. Moon Knight come in and he said he couldn't hear anything at all. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm talking. But he's like, yeah, but I joined your stream as I was getting in the house and you haven't said anything. and I checked and I realised that I wasn't recording, and this was my reaction.
I'm gonna plug the PlayStation 4 headset in so that we can hear the end of this and you can hear how fucking annoyed or frustrated I am that OBS didn't fucking save it and there's no way of getting it back. Thank you all for watching. Well, at least future Spyro will be in a more relaxed state, so he can commentate a little bit better, even though you missed out on the fucking rage. Because, I mean, you can see the timer on that fucking bridge to nowhere bollocks, so yeah. I didn't have a good time. I had a shit time. I know you would have all liked to have heard that, but that's a technical fault. Oh well. Well, there you go. Back to you, future Spyro.
So yeah, I didn't have a good time that day. That was bad. So there you go. But hey, it'll be working next time, so you'll be able to hear my suffering next time. But for now, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If you don't want to miss out on the rest of the series, subscribe, and there are links below to my public Discord and Patreon. But for now, I'll see you in the next one.